Today I have a Redesign by Prima transfer that's called Wildflowers. It comes in 3 sheets and is a repetitive pattern of cream and dark burgundy orchids. The full transfer is 24 inches by 35 inches. And again, it comes in 3 panels. And if you were to place them together, they do flow into a complete pattern. But I'm just going to be taking one panel and I created this heart out of just a paper bag, just a paper heart. And I placed it on the transfer. I still have all my protective layers on my transfer. And I'm taking a pen and tracing my heart pattern and cutting it out with a pair of scissors. I'm taking my 4-foot by 10-inch pine board that I picked up at Lowe's. They're about $7, $8. And I'm taking my Snow Owl by Wise Owl and these Whiz foam rollers from Lowe's. They're 4 inches. And I'm covering my entire board in the Snow Owl. I did apply 2 coats. And then I took this clear contact paper. I pick it right up at the dollar store. And I took my heart pattern again and traced on this clear contact paper. And I'm going to cut that out. So now I just want to make sure that my 2 images, the contact paper and my transfer, line up quite perfectly. And now I'm going to go back to my board and take the contact paper, removed its protective backing, and place it on my board. I want to try to get as much in the center as possible. And now I'm going to take dry thyme and another foam roller and cover the entire board, including the contact paper. Once covered, I'm using a little razor blade to lift the edge. And while the paint is still wet, I'm removing my contact paper. Now dry, I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and lightly go over the entire board, as there was a little bit of adhesive on the heart and the sandpaper took that right out. You want to get that stickiness off. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem with your transfer. So now I'm using this home stencil that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It was about $5.99. I blocked out the O in the home as it was some sort of a grapevine or some sort of a vine circle. And it's a little smaller than the rest. It kind of stands out unproportionately, in my opinion. So I blocked it out, and I'm taking my black paint and another foam roller, loading and unloading on another paper plate, as you don't want too much paint on your roller or you will get bleed through. You want a very dry roller. Take your time going in different directions till you cover the stencil. And while it's still wet, I do lift the stencil back up. I don't wait till it dries. And then I'm connecting my letters with an art brush. And at this point in the video, I wasn't sure what I was going to do for my O, so I'm going to take care of that later. Once all my paint dried, I did wait a day. I'm going to cover my entire board with 1-hour enamel using a Gen foam brush. And the key with using the 1-hour enamel is you just want a quick layer. You don't want to overwork your brush as it starts to dry quite quickly. And we're going to be doing a second coat, so if you didn't grab every inch, it's okay. We'll get it the next time. Once that dried, I'm now ready to apply my transfer, and I'm removing the protective backing. There's a protective backing, and then there's a film on the top of the image. Once in place, I'm going to take the stick that comes in your transfer. And again, the transfer can be found at chalkitupfancy.com, along with the dry thyme and snow owl. And I'm going to use this stick to rub and rub, and you'll start to see that the image is lifting from the top film. And you just want to be gentle and rub as you're pulling this film off. And if you find there's a part of the image that's not connecting, you just lay it back down and rub a little bit more. And once that fully releases, I just take a cloth or a soft paper towel and I just rub and rub my image, and I rub until I actually can see the grain of the wood in the image. I know then at that point it's really adhered. I'm going to cut off a portion of the panel that I've already used, and I flip my board upside down just so you can see this end. And just above the H, I am applying another section of the transfer. Now, the tool that you're seeing me use can be found at chalkitupfancy.com. It's an upgrade to the stick, but unnecessary. And again, once the top film releases, you want to rub your image. This is a very important part of the process to make sure that your image has adhered in all areas. And at this point, I'm going to put it aside. But first, I want to add an O. I did find a letter in another stencil that I had that was the right size. And I'm just going to add the O in the same fashion as I did the rest of the stencil. And again, I connected my letters using an art brush. This is not a necessary step. And after a day and making sure that my transfer has adhered with no issues, I'm doing my final coat of 1 hour enamel. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. For other tutorials, go check us out on YouTube. Now all our videos are at chalkitupfancy.com. You can get the 1 hour enamel, the transfer, the paint, and any additional brushes at chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much for watching.